This is Billy. He is currently standing in the 40-degree temperature of African savannah. He is currently being cornered by a group of hungry-looking hyenas who are just about ready to tear him up and eat him. Billy has no weapons, no way to defend himself, and nowhere to run. He's also severely thirsty and dying of hunger. You might say how he ended up here. For that, we have to go back 2 days ago when he was sitting on his bed scrolling TikTok. He suddenly gets a bright idea of going to Africa alone. Yes, this idiot thinks he can 1v1 a lion, so he books a one-way flight of Kenya. Now, the African savannah is home to some of the world's most dangerous predators, such as lions, cheetahs, hyenas, but the worst predator of them all is the scorching savannah heat, reaching upwards of 40 degrees on some days. Hearing all this idiot still thinks he can take it on, so he starts packing up his stuff and takes the first step out of his house and realizes, oh, it's nighttime, he should sleep first. When the morning hits, he wastes no time and rushes to the airport for his 10 a.m. flight to the other side of the world. Billy right now is super excited and can't wait to do all the fun things under the scorching hot sun with a pack of lions. When he finally lands in Kenya, he takes in a long, heavy breath before going to book a jeep for his long adventure. Remember, he didn't book a guide with him. He is doing this all alone. So he books an old jeep and makes his way to the savannah. But then he realizes that it's starting to get super hot here. He checks his bag and finds himself a half-empty water bottle and an expired lollipop. He checks for other things but doesn't find any because he didn't pack any other stuff with him. His first big mistake. While he was raging over this, all of a sudden, the jeep decides to break down. He goes out to check what the issue is, but he doesn't have a clue what's wrong with it. This idiot still doesn't decide it's time to go back and continues to go forward to present himself to the lions. He even now doesn't care that much and goes on with his walk. He takes deep breath and observes his surroundings. On one side, he sees 3 rhinos. On other, he sees giraffes. Floating in the water, he sees tall pink flamingos on the backs of hippos. He keeps his distance and goes over to a nearby acacia tree and sits under it, but he mistakenly sat over a colony of ants. The time it took for him to realize he's vandalizing someone's property, he would already be covered in fire ants, the most brutal and stingy ants of all. So he runs from there and jumps in the lake out of pure pain due to the ants. Yeah, that was quite dumb. Due to him screaming, he had alerted every single animal around him that prey was near. When he finally gets rid of the ants, he faces a giant hippo in front of him with a flamingo on his back to guide him. As soon as he sees the duo in front of him, he flashes out of there and runs as fast as he possibly can. When the adrenaline rushes off, he sees himself breathless due to the marathon he just ran. Leaving that behind, he goes on to explore more of the jungle. Within minutes, he was hungry again, but this genius didn't prepare anything for himself. The lollipop he had, well, that's resting on the plane for now.
Chilling on a weekend like usual. Watching SpongeBob and Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
He was also super thirsty. This is natural, as savannas usually tend to get hot. Explorers mostly bring with themselves 10 to maybe 15 liters of water, but Sir Billy brought with himself only 2 bottles, one empty and one half empty. He looked at the jungle, then looked at the bottle. Again, looked at the jungle and looked at the bottle. Yeah, this was not ideal. He continues walking and tries looking for a shady spot to sit in, but savannah doesn't offer that much luxury. This man only then realizes he may be in danger and looks back to see, oh, he's lost. Out of frustration, he starts walking faster. Another big mistake. Soon he is covered in sweat from head to toe, and with this scent, he now has attracted mosquitoes and other ticks and ants. His shirt is torn up, his legs have given up, and he has a family of mosquitoes to feed. What a life. He was already dealing with this, but nature decided to have a feast. Billy hears flapping in the sky. The smell had attracted a group of vultures who only come to eat the remains of dead animals, but at this point, even they know he is a deadbeat. He escapes from there, barely, and stumbles upon a pack of elephants who were migrating in search for food, water, and overall, a better environment to live in. This migration process only happens during the dry season from July to October. He keeps his distance from them as he remembers the death of the recent 54-year-old man who was killed on April 18, 2025, in Mir Forest, Nyeri County, by an elephant. He keeps walking in the north, and for the first time in a long time, he finds a pond of mildly dirty water. He takes no time and jumps in to drink as much as he wants, finally ending his thirst with a side of malaria. But he doesn't care. At least his thirst is over now. As the night starts to fall, he looks out to find some sort of shelter. In the nights, temperatures can reach down to 2 Celsius, making it super hard to live properly. He eventually finds a small entrance to stay in. He clears out the place and sets up a campfire. His stomach is growling as he has not eaten anything in the past 18 hours. He somehow, some way drifts to sleep on the cold rocky floor for a very respectable 3 hours and 23 minutes and wakes up to the sound of hyenas howling. This is because hyenas, when they feel any sort of danger, start howling to wake their pack up and relocate. This is to protect their cubs from nearby predators. 3 hours and 23 minutes. That's all Billy got. He wakes up on the cold, rocky floor, every single muscle in his body screaming at him. His eyes are dry, his lips are cracked, and his head is pounding like someone let a hyena loose inside it, which, funny enough, isn't that far from reality. See, when your body doesn't get enough water, it starts to panic. Your blood thickens, your brain literally shrinks slightly away from your skull, and your heart works twice as hard just to keep you upright. Combine that with 3 hours of sleep on a rock in 2-degree cold after running a marathon from a hippo, and you've basically turned yourself into a walking biological disaster. Billy stands up, or at least he tries to. His legs give out on the first attempt. Second attempt, he's up, barely. He looks around, squinting in the early morning light. His half-empty water bottle is now completely empty. He doesn't even remember drinking it. His body does, though. He starts walking, slowly. Every step feels like his legs are filled with sand. The savanna around him is already warming up. The sun barely risen and already threatening to cook everything in sight. His shirt, torn and stained, is doing absolutely nothing for him. His sense of direction? Gone. He picks a direction and walks. Is it north, south? Who knows? Billy certainly doesn't. What makes this worse is that dehydration messes with your ability to think clearly. So the one tool Billy needed most right now, his brain, is the exact thing that's been compromised. He's making decisions on 3% battery with no charger in sight. Billy has now been walking for about 40 minutes and covered maybe a kilometer. Not great. As he pushes through the dry golden grass, he notices the ground beneath him has changed slightly. The grass is more flattened here, more worn. There are marks in the dirt that his dehydrated brain doesn't quite register as a warning sign. They should, though. He's so focused on the horizon, on the shimmering, useless horizon, that he doesn't look down. He never looks down, and that's exactly why his left foot comes down on something that isn't dirt. The strike is instantaneous. Billy suddenly feels a sharp pain above his ankle. He looks down and sees a thick snake hidden in the grass. He quickly steps back and just starts shouting. There are 2 small puncture marks on his ankle. The skin around them is already turning red. Even in his tired and dehydrated state, he understands this is serious. Puff adders are responsible for many snakebite deaths in Africa. Their venom damages tissue and causes swelling, and the effects get worse over time. Billy has no treatment, no water, and no idea where he is. He stands still for a moment, breathing heavily and staring at the bite. Then he starts walking again because he has no other option. And that unusual ground patterns, well, he just stepped into lions' territory. Lions are territorial animals. A single pride can control anywhere between 20 to 400 square kilometers of land, and they don't just sit around waiting for intruders. They patrol. They mark. They know when something foreign has entered their space. They've probably known about Billy for longer than Billy has known about them. The way lions hunt is methodical. They don't chase like cheetahs, they observe first. They wait. They position themselves. A lioness can stay completely still in grass that barely reaches her shoulders and become completely invisible. They work as a unit, cutting off escape routes before the target even knows it's a target. Billy stops. Something in his exhausted, barely functioning, currently being poisoned brain tells him something is off. The birds have gone quiet. The air feels different. He slowly turns his head. Amber eyes, low to the ground, watching him, then another pair to his left. Billy does not move. For the first time since landing in Kenya, this man has made the right call. He stands completely still, heart hammering so loud he's convinced the lions can hear it. And honestly, they probably can. He makes a right choice to keep down his voice and slowly back up behind the trees and escapes from there as fast as he can. In the process, his whole leg is slowly swelling up, causing extreme pain. He falls back. He can't take it anymore. The pain has finally gotten to him. He sits there, imagining himself back home, questioning why he even decided to pursue this trip, why he didn't just erase this idea in the first place. He knows what will happen to him now. There is no way back. Oh, hi there. Wait, what?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
He's now in the middle of hyenas circling him. One steps forward, then another, then the third, then the fourth. The fifth decides to jump forward along with the rest. He tries to run, but the leg isn't letting him. He feels a mountain on his back. He closes his eyes and Than wakes up. It was all a dream. He hasn't even left for the airport yet. He sits there in silence, taking in long breaths. I hope you liked the video. If yes, then a sub would help a lot. Peace.